Kia ora and welcome to today's video. Today we're jumping back into the modern age system to take a look at custom characters. We have touched a little on the freeform character creation found in the companion book back in our Stargate video, and while that's good for creating one-off characters, I want to create a whole new set of character options for a prolonged campaign. And what better way to do it than my favourite sci-fi IP, Stargate, where we're going to be using the custom creation rules to create options for Jaffa players, whether they side with the Taurian Tok'ra or still are under the control of the Goa'uld. So, let's have a deeper look into custom backgrounds for the modern age system. The first thing we need to do with any background we're creating is the all-important description. Taken from Earth by the System Lord Ra, the Jaffa are used as servants, warriors, and priests for the Goa'uld. Once a Jaffa hits a certain age, they are used as an incubator for the juvenile Goa'uld. In exchange for this, the symbiont grants the Jaffa increased physical strength, health, and longevity. In modern age, backgrounds begin by determining what social class the character was born into: outsider, lower class, middle class, and upper class. For the Jaffa, I think the lower class will suit. Outsider is for a background that is outside social organisations, and middle and upper class I would say would be reserved for higher tier Goa'uld, such as first primes and priests and that sort of stuff. So for now we're going to go with lower class. Background perks. In some cases, backgrounds may contain one or two minor perks beyond their standard benefits. This includes languages. Your background may include fluency in a language other than the commonly used language of the campaign setting your game uses. So for this we will give the Jaffa race both common and Goa'uld. However, Ra actually outlawed writing, so the Jaffa, this is only spoken languages. They cannot read or write. Higher tier Goa'uld will be able to read and write. They need to in order to operate the spaceships. But the common Goa'uld background will be spoken Goa'uld and spoken common only. Advantages. So, a background may actually grant access to a special or signature stunt. This includes one that qualifies as an extraordinary ability. For the Jaffa, I'm going to give them symbiont healing. This will grant them a boost on the Adrenaline Rush stunt. When they use Adrenaline Rush, they don't actually lose the hit points that they gain through the stunt. Usually you would lose the hit points at the end of your turn. Some backgrounds come with minor extraordinary abilities, something like a sensory enhancement, the ability to see a short distance in the dark or to see in low light as if it were daylight, such as elves and dwarfs. These abilities tend to always be available rather than something that relies on stunts. For the Jaffa, I'm going to add the ability of Kalnarim. So when they sleep, you can enter a state called Kalnarim. This allows you to rid yourself of any disease, toxins, radiations, and poisons, as well as heal back to full health. Jaffa are not as graceful as an elf, or as slow as a dwarf or halfling, so I'm going to keep their speed as 10 plus their dexterity. So when creating a new background, the last step is to build a custom benefit table for this background. The current custom benefit table is as follows. You get a +1 on an ability score, a choice of 1 out of 2 ability focuses, a choice of 1 out of 2 talents, and you get to roll on the benefit table for the background for 1 additional benefit. For the ability score, we are going to have a base of +1 constitution. This shows the symbiotes extra healing and extra longevity that they give to the Jaffa. We're also going to be given a +1 to strength, but a -1 to intelligence. This will still give them a grand total of 1 extra bonus, because the strength and the intelligence will pretty much counter each other. For the focus, I'm going to give them a new focus called Intelligence Heraldry. This comes from the Fantasy Age book, and this pretty much shows that the Goa'uld will embed into them the hierarchy of the System Lords, the heraldry of their domain, all that sort of stuff. It is an intelligence focus, but it's the one thing the Goa'uld insist they learn is, the Goa'uld are gods, so you must learn all your god stuff. And the other option for the focus will be Willpower Faith. This pretty much shows that the faith that has been embedded into the Goa'uld culture. For the talents, we are going to be having Living on the Fringe. This shows that the Goa'uld generally keep most of the Jaffa living in very rural type environments, mainly to keep populations down. If a population explodes too much, they have a habit of rebelling and turning against their masters. So yeah, the Jaffa have a habit of living on the fringe of society, or living on the fringe of planets. The last one actually comes from the Threefold book, which I'm going to reskin. This is called Rage of the Droga in Threefold, but we are renaming it to Rage of the Jaffa. This will complement the symbiotic healing that they get. Basically, with this, your people have long endured harsh environments. When you learn this talent, increase your toughness by 1. This just shows how resilient the Jaffa really are. An expert, you thrive in the face of physical adversary. When you spend stunt points on the adrenaline rush stunt, you gain temporary health as if you had spent 1 additional stunt point, and you can benefit as if you had spent 4 stunt points, even though the ceiling and the maximum number you can actually spend is 3. This basically means you can spend 3 stunt points, you get the equivalent as if you had spent 4. And the master ability is Fire, Ice, Winds of Glass Shards. None of it can turn you from your goals. You can use an activate action to add your willpower to your toughness against 1 instance of being damaged on your next turn. So this just shows how tough and how durable the Jaffa are. So the benefit table, this gives us a 2d6 roll. Now I let my characters generally choose from this, but some people like to roll randomly just to see what they get. So with this, on a roll of 2, you get a +1 ability. On a roll of 12, you get a +1 to an ability, and the same with a 6 or a 7. And then you get an ability focus on a 3 or 4, a 5, a 6, a 9, and a 10 to 11. How does this work? Well, if we have a look at the Campaign Builder's Guide, we can see the 2d6 probability chart. So on a 2 and a 12, you can only roll 1 combination. You can either get 2 1s or you can roll 2 6s. So with that, there is a 1 in 36 chance, or a 2.77% probability that you're going to get this. So we want to stick options that kind of make sense, but are probably not going to be rolled very often. Or 3 and 11. There are 2 possible combinations, and it's a 5.55% chance of rolling that. 4 and 10 are 3 combinations, and that is a 1 out of 12, or an 8.33% chance. 5 and 9, 4 possible combinations each. That is a 1 out of 9% chance of rolling, or an 11.11% probability of scoring one of those 2 numbers. 8 and 6, there are 5 different combinations you can get, which gives you a 5 out of 36 chance, or a 13.88% probability of rolling this. And finally, the 7, which is the Thief in Catan. There are 6 possible combinations for that, which gives you a 1 out of 6 probability, or a 16.66% chance of rolling this. Now let's have a look at the actual default benefits. We are going to be looking at the first one, which is a 7 to 8. This here is a +1 ability that we kind of want to focus on. It gives us the highest percent chance. That's a 30% chance, give or take, of rolling that, or an 11 out of 36. Rolls should be a 7 or an 8. For this one, we are going to use a +1 willpower. This shows the blind faith the Jaffa have in the Goa'uld. We are then going to populate 2 and 12, which is only a 2.77% chance, with the 2 extra +1s to abilities, which will be a +1 to accuracy on 2 and a +1 to fighting on 12. This shows the extra combat training that the Jaffa have. Now for our 3 and 4, our 6 and our 10 to 11 rolls, each of these is a 5 out of 36 chance of rolling, or a 13.88%, so these will be the next highest ones we want to focus on. For these, we are going to go Strength Intimidation for the 2 to 4, we are going to be going Constitution Endurance for the 6, and we are going to be doing Constitution Tolerance for the 10 to 11. So the Strength shows how intimidating the Jaffa are. The Constitution Endurance just shows that the Jaffa can actually go the distance. They can run marathons real easy. They have a massive constitution. And the Tolerance just shows their ability to withstand most poisons, toxins, that sort of stuff due to their symbiont. The final thing we want to do is do the 11.11%, which is 5 and 9. With these, we want things that kind of suit the Jaffa background, but we don't want them to be rolled as often as the others. So for 5, I'm going to do Willpower Courage. This is basically the Jaffar's ability to stay in the battle, no matter how bad it is getting. And we're going to do Perception Tracking. A lot of Jafar are really good at tracking their prey, especially kill squads, that sort of stuff. So that is the default benefit table. Now, to offset the whole Kalnarim and that sort of stuff, it does sound pretty powerful, but what we are actually going to do is add some background deficits. With that, Kalnarim is going to have this added on to the end of it. The Jafar must enter Kalnarim once every 48 hours or fall into a coma lasting 1d6 minus their constitution days. This will be a minimum of 1 day. So if your constitution is 5, then you're only ever going to fall into a coma lasting 1 day. However, if you don't have a very high constitution, which in theory you should have, being Jafar, you might fall unconscious for a few more days than 1. It's more a role-playing ability. It just, while humans have to sleep, otherwise they start getting fatigued, it's actually worse for Jafar. They must Kalnarim, otherwise they will go unconscious and have a coma. And the other deficit we are going to add is no immune system. So if a Jafar loses their symbiont, it's either removed or killed, then they will actually die within days equal to their constitution unless it is replaced. This just shows the stronger the Jafar's constitution, the longer they can survive without their symbiote, but in the end, as they have no immune system, they will die very quickly, unless they can actually get another symbiote implanted into them. And this is the Jafar background. So you can see the Jafar are lower, we have the all-important description, we have our ability, which is +1 constitution, +1 strength, -1 intelligence. We have our focuses of intelligence, heraldry, or willpower, faith. We have our advantages. The symbiote will give you the following: symbiote healing. When you use the adrenaline rush stunt, you don't lose the hit points gained this way. And Kalnarim. When you rest, you can enter a state of Kalnarim, allowing you to rid yourself of any diseases, toxins, radiations, and poisons, as well as heal back to full health. If you don't Kalnarim once every 48 hours, you will slip into a coma for 1d6 minus your constitution days, a minimum of 1 day. But you have no immune system. Lose your symbiote. If it's removed or killed, you will die within days equal to your constitution unless it's replaced. You have the talent of living on the fringe or rage of the Jafar, and your languages are common and Goa'uld, and that is spoken only. And then your nice benefit roll table for anyone who wants to roll. Most DMs will let you choose, but like I said, some people prefer to roll. And that is how you make a custom background. You can feel free to use this in any Stargate inspired campaign you are running, or have it as an alien background in any other campaign. It's up to you as a DM how you use it, if you use it, and what you want to do with it. All of this information I've given you is found in pages 5 to 7 of the companion book, so if you want a copy, then simply head over to the Green Ronin website, click on the shop, and then change the department to Modern Age, and pick up your PDF. If you're like me and love the tactile feel of the book in your hand, then visit your friendly local gaming store and get them to order you a copy today. I will be including the PDF for the Jafar background in the description below, and in our next episode we will be going over custom professions and drives for the Jafar. So, thank you for watching, and ka kite anō.